works! Hello everyone and welcome to Vegan Region. My name is V. I love a lot of vegan things, but mainly food. Last week I asked you over on my Instagram what you wanted to see next. By popular demand, I have decided to do a dessert-based video. If you did not know this already, I used to live in South Africa from when I was 7 until I was about 18 years old.
Nah, I never knew that.
So I'm still in contact with a few friends from South Africa and I asked them what their favourite non-vegan dessert was. And this video is part 1 of me trying to make them vegan.
I would like to see it.
First up on the menu is koeksisters, and then I'm also going to be making peppermint crisp tart. A koeksister is basically fried dough infused in syrup. There is another version of this where you can add desiccated coconut on top, so I've done both. Let me show you how to make this one really quickly. Let's go. To make the koeksisters, you are going to need 200 grams of flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 pinch of salt, 2 tablespoons of vegan butter, and then you mix it with your hands until you get like a crumble texture. Add in your oat milk a little bit at a time, and I actually had to end up adding a little bit more flour to my dough because it was too sticky, and it ended up looking something like this. I popped it back in the bowl and wrapped it in cling film twice. I then left it near my radiator for about 2 hours, but the recipe recommends 45 minutes to an hour is fine. In a pot, I'm adding 500 grams of sugar, 200 milliliters of water. The recipe called for some cinnamon sticks, but I didn't have any, so I just added cinnamon, some vanilla extract, I never measure, and a little bit of lemon juice as well. Keep stirring that until you get it to a bubble, and then keep stirring until you get the consistency that you want. This took me about 10 to 15 minutes. Once the dough is done, you're going to take it out of the bowl, and then you're going to start splitting it into 3 separate parts. Try and make them as even as possible if you can. Once those are rolled out, you're going to start making a braid. My first attempt was a bit sad, and it did end up actually coming undone, so just be careful when you're doing this. Just going to show you my last attempt, which ended up coming out much better. I'm terrible at explaining what you need to do, but if you watch what I'm doing, then hopefully you'll be able to pick it up. So those are my final koeksisters ready to fry, and a good way to check your oil is ready is by dipping the end of a wooden spoon into your oil, and if bubbles form around it, then you're good to go. Another thing to note is that I wish I hadn't moved the koeksisters around so much, because I think that's also what ended up causing them to break apart, so just be careful when you're frying them. I fried these to my specifications. Some people like it darker than this, but I thought that this was a perfect colour for me. I then popped the koeksisters back into the syrup, but all I can say is, please just learn how to use tongs. Look at the shambles that's happening here. Like, can you actually just turn it over?
I was rooting for you! We were all rooting for you!
So this is what the koeksisters come out looking like out of the syrup. I left them in for about 1 to 2 minutes, and you can stop here, or you can add desiccated coconut on top of them as well.
I've been in the kitchen, whipping, I've been chefing.
Damn!
In the UK, I don't think peppermint crisp chocolates exist, but in South Africa, we have a chocolate called Peppermint Crisp, and I'll pop up a picture somewhere over here on the screen. It's like peppermint shards, like rock candy of peppermint, covered in milk chocolate, which we don't have in the UK. But It's a classic in South Africa. So many South African people will have encountered this at least at one point. And it's basically a layer of tennis biscuits. If you're not sure what that is, the only way that I can describe it is like nice biscuits, which I tried to find in the shops, but their ingredients list included milk. So I couldn't use them. That coconut sort of biscuit with a caramel and cream whipped layer on top, and then you've got the peppermint crisp chocolate just crumbled up all on top. I remember being a kid and having that for the first time and being blown away. So this is like kind of taking me back to my childhood. Let me show you how to make the peppermint crisp tart in 3, 2, 1, I can't even count. The first thing we're going to need to do for the peppermint crisp tart is make a caramel sauce using 1 cup of coconut milk and then half a cup of coconut sugar. And you're just going to keep stirring this together until it gets thicker to the consistency that you want. I did this for about 5 minutes. And then you're going to set that to the side to cool. I tried to use single soy cream to make the whipped cream portion of this, but it didn't work out. It just came out like the frothy milk that you get on coffee. And I tried it again, but this time with some coconut milk to see if that would help thicken it up, and it did, but not enough. So I had to end up going for coconut milk, which I didn't want to use because it smelled really funky coming out of the tin. So I was scared that the flavor was going to be too overpowering. Make sure that you remove as much water as possible before you start whipping this up. I added some peppermint extract, just a capful to start with, and vanilla extract. I never really measured this. Then I mixed that all together and then kept adding peppermint extract and vanilla extract as needed until I got the right flavoring of that coconut cream. The sauce should be completely cool before you add it to your cream, and I was just adding a little bit at a time because I didn't want it to be too overpowering. So just do it to your taste preference. Next, I took some rich tea biscuits and then covered them in foil, and then I took my measuring jug and then smashed those biscuits into small pieces to create the biscuit base for the bottom. Just be careful when you do this because it might split. Ran it through with my hands just one more time to break up any large biscuits, and it should look like this when you're done. I'm using this chocolate, which is currently my absolute favorite, and it's only available in Sainsbury's. That's the only place I've seen it so far. I cut this up into small pieces to use to sprinkle on top of the peppermint crisp tart. So once I had all 3 of my components, I got my little containers, and then I made the biscuit layer, added the cream, and then sprinkled it with chocolate on top. And that is my peppermint crisp tart made vegan. I popped these in the freezer for a couple of hours before I ate them, and they set just a little bit more and it was a little bit firmer, which I think helped as well.
Girl, you have done it again, constantly raising the bar for us all and doing it flawlessly. I'd say I'm surprised, but I know who you are.
And I will leave.
Okay, work.
As always, I will leave a list of the links that I used as reference points to make these 2 desserts in case you wanted to try it out as well, and I will also leave the full written recipes as well down below. Okay, let's get on to the taste test, the best part. It looks so cute! It kind of, because it's in this container, reminds me of cheesecake, and we all know I have a bit of a love for cheesecake. It's really cute, it's really well presented. And I did put this in the freezer for, I think it ended up being probably about 2 or 3 hours. I really hope this tastes good. Time for the taste test.
Talented, brilliant, incredible, amazing, show-stopping, spectacular.
This tastes like my childhood.
The prophecy is true.
I was really hesitant about the coconut milk because when I opened the tin, the smell was a bit funky. I kept adding peppermint extract and vanilla extract just to try and balance it out and to try whittle down that coconut flavor as much as I could. I can't believe this works!
This?
Peppermint crisp tart. It literally tastes exactly how I remember it. It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, I like that.
That's a success. If you can hear paws in the background, sorry, that's my dog just walking around on tiles. So next up, we have got the Koeksisters. Oh. I'm just gonna try the plain one first. I can't believe how good that peppermint tart came out. What do you think about the coconut flavor? Is it like a lot or not too much?
That?
Yeah.
I didn't even know it had coconut in it.
It tastes like a donut. It's good though.
Oh my God!
You like it?
It's like a donut.
Looks like a donut.
I remember when I was living in South Africa and I used to have Koeksisters and I couldn't have that many of them at a time because they were so sickly sweet, but that's not as sweet as I thought it was going to be.
You want to keep eating more?
Do you want another one?
Of course.
They're supposed to stay in the braid shape, but some of mine came out quite misshapen, but this one is a pretty good one with the coconut. I think I like it better with the coconut on top. That's good. It's just a donut. It's just a sweet donut.
I've been in the kitchen, whipping. I've been chefing.
By the way, did I show you my apron? How cute. I got it for Christmas. Vegan region. I feel like I've literally just gone back to South Africa. That's how I feel right now. I'm in such a good, you know when you just eat some good food and it puts you in a good mood and then you're just walking around like, yeah. At some point, it would be awesome to get my friends to taste test these desserts and tell me what they think. And because we're on completely different continents as well, it's gonna be a little bit challenging. I'm so impressed with myself. Good job, good job. You gotta pat your own back sometimes, like, yeah, I did that, I did that. If you try out any of these recipes, please tag me on Instagram at vegan.region and I will be sure to check them out as well. If you don't want to miss part 2 of this video, make sure to subscribe to my channel, click on the notification bell so that you know when I post new videos, and I will see you guys in my next video. Okay, bye! I'm really impressed with myself. I'm actually like, should I just open up a restaurant for real? Because